Hello my friends, welcome back to another gameplay video of me on Lunara. This game we're going to be doing the poison build. Now, the reasoning why you want to do poison build is you want to apply more utility, you're applying more damage over time, and ideally you want to counter their healing. White's main, although she does have good overall sustain healing, her strongest suit is definitely extreme burst healing. You're fighting her allies, and then suddenly she drops her abilities, and you just can't seem to kill anybody. She thrives on being in the middle of combat, so long as she's constantly damaging someone, she's giving healing to her entire team. Poison build has lots of range and reach, so if we can harm Whitemane with a little bit of poison, it's gonna cause her to panic a little bit and expend a little bit of mana in protecting herself. When she expends mana on herself, she's not giving it to the rest of her team, and then you'll be able to slowly will the rest of her team down. There is a problem with poison build. It doesn't do too well against these hyper tanky, I should say. I was also considering choking pollen for extreme burst. It would work well against Whitemane. However, Genji is fast, Orphea tends to juke a lot. Johanna and Asmodan are just too tanky to care. So yeah, we'll be doing poison build. Furthermore, we do have Team CC that will eventually synergize with our level 16 talent, which is Unfair Advantage. That you deal 60% more damage with the poison to anything that's slowed. With Deckard slow and Roots, Arth is just existing, which is going to be really cool. We're going to see a lot of damage go off. So, yes, our primary threats this game is honestly just Genji and getting caught out of position with a nasty Orphea, Jaws, Johanna, Blessed Shield, maybe an X-Strike, or maybe a Divine Reckoning from Whitemane, and then we can absolutely get blasted. So, stay a little bit apart, we'll work on the macro, and things will go well. So, off we go. Standard level 1 procedures here. I've gone for Sentinel Wisp. I love it on Infernal Shrines. So we're going to speed this up a little bit. What you want to do in these early fights, apply a poison to as many people as possible, and then press W to maximize poison effect. This is for your damage, and this is for your slowing. Taking a lot of poke damage here. And then, yep, leave as much damage as possible, and as soon as the first wave arrives, you're going to want to rotate. In this case, this is the second wave, I think, so my bad there. As Lunara, you want to be ideally solo laning. She works well as a 4-laner, but she has the capacity to really abuse her opponents when she's solo laning. Lots of range. Her poison is basically permanent damage, and they don't have a healer to immediately remedy it up. And yeah, you have decent wave clear, but it's going to get much better at level 4. You also have a Wisp here that really helps you out in protecting you. Ooh. Here I get jumped by this Genji, and if I'm not... Yeah, I died. Okay. So this is a big problem that you're going to be seeing from Genji here. When he leaps on, you have no way of getting him off of you. Later on, if you get Leaping Strike or maybe Wild Vigor with a little bit of hard-hitting attacks, he might back off. Aside from that, you just can't shake the guy. If he wants you dead, he can get you dead, no problem. The only way you can counter that is to be next to your team, so that he's one decentivized from jumping in, and hopefully he just decides not to go in for you. After that death, everyone's top lane. I go mid lane to help out Deckard with the scamp, with the XP soaking here. I go down bot lane. Notice there's a little bit of a skirmish. Orphea just so happens to back up to me. We get a nice kill there. Yeah, I wanted to poison her, back off, and let it run its course. If Orphea hits people, she gets stacks from her passive, and that lets her heal a lot. Huge blunder on my part. I really don't know where I was going. When you're in that position, I really should have just immediately banked rights. I was really scared of the Asmodan E from connecting to me. But that was a mistake. The potion's over here. Decker was over here. And also the gates. If I go down here, am I going to escape the Genji? No. He's just going to keep running me down. Okay, so pay attention to where your team is. Don't run off into the headlights like a deer. Nature's calling, very important. If we can't beat this Genji in combat, we're gonna out macro him. He does not do well when he needs to kill minions, so by applying macro pressure, we can win an advantage in other ways. Get XP advantage, get map advantage, all that jazz. Also, it's super good on this map for clearing out the small boys. There we go. Apply as much poison as possible. Q, W, give him no mercy. Yes, and Nature's Calling is really good as it really amplifies your damage to these little demons, so you can kill them a lot easier. And also when the Punisher comes out, it actually gives you some decent DPS. You'll notice that Lunara has a lot of trouble dealing with big monsters. She simply does not have the damage. So you always need to pick up Nature's Calling so you actually flip that around and become really good at it. We're really close to level 7 here. Zagara does a great job in soaking it, and I immediately pick up Splintered Spear. Splinter Spear is great against like these tight clumped up targets so that you can apply to all of them. It'll also apply to all the demons. I'm focusing on the demons right now because I got damage and my tank is just zoning. Damage. Let's see. Now with all that withering, eventually Whitemane runs out of mana. So our poison did a great job here. Very intense fight. And we won it primarily through zoning and killing the demons really quickly. They don't really have any good damage sources. Asmodan can definitely clean it up, but he needs stacks first. So not in the early game. Push with the Punisher. Make sure that you're also soaking up the side lanes like Zagara's doing. So that, very nice. My Splintered Spear hits the Genji there, which is why I took 4 aggro. This is one of the annoying things you have to watch out for. Now that we got the fort, I'm very happy. We're just gonna get out of here. Here, I made a mistake immediately coming to Zagara's aid. I should have helped the team a little bit for a safer disengage, and then I could have come up here. However, once I'm here, Genji's expunged all of his dashes. He can't escape the poison now. And then I saw the enemy team here very briefly from my Wisp, and then I need to get running to the hills. Very cool. Okay, so next game plan is at level 10, I plan on taking Vines. I want to give more poison, more range, more applicators. The enemy team was just top lane. I don't see them on the minion wave, so logically speaking, they have to be on the bruisers here. I did a little bit of running. I realized there's a fort there, so I can't go up there, but I'm just really annoying them, slowing them down significantly. This Wisp is giving me complete information about the area, so I know it's safe to walk up, and I'm not walking into a Genji from the side. Let's see. Phoenix is having a little bit of trouble there. Got my Vines. And what's really cool about Splinter Spear is also it gives you probably the best macro potential of all 7 talents. Your level 7 talents. You just blast it onto the minion waves, all of them get poisoned, easy job from there. With Sindragosa here, the fort is disabled, so we go completely ham. Amazing tornado here. Whitemane is separated, and she just gets executed. No fort to worry about, we're just taking our leisurely time, walking behind them, applying poison. Ideally, we want to focus it down, because there's not a lot of point in killing them. We're here for the fort primarily. It turns out, Joanna didn't escape fast enough, and she just took a lot of poison and damage from Arthas. Just look at this valuable Sentinel Wisp vision. Just sees everything. We know this place is clear. Nobody's taking them. I placed it over here for a little bit more forward vision, so in case they do run up, we can back off if we need to, or we fight to the death. Here we see him coming. We're already repositioning to get out, and it's a very safe take. I love this level 1 talent. It is unreal, and it is so good. Now for level 13, there's a few options. I don't think this is a spell shield game, despite the fact that Asma may do some hard chunking, and Genji does a lot of physical damage, and so does Orphea, but they actually do lots of magical and physical damage, so it's not gonna completely save you if you get dove upon. Furthermore, they're a little bit too tanky. I just need more options. So for my level 13 talent, my most likely option here is either Let Them Wither or Endless Spores. We have Arthas, and he's been a complete menace in slowing them down, so I don't really feel like Let Them Wither is necessary. I want more damage. I want more damage, more frequent slowing attempts, so Endless Spores is what I'm about to choose. Let Them Wither is very viable, even with Arthas doing a lot of slowing. It helps him get into range to begin with, and it really helps from there. But Endless Spores, it gives you more poison. You're constantly reapplying it. It is the soul of most builds. Alrighty, Phoenix here gets caught, which is very unfortunate. That stun denied his leap, and we have problems now. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna get a little dangerous. Yeah, that's exactly what I've foreseen. Here, I thought Genji was down to kill me, and I was not gonna have a good time about that. I probably should have stayed around and just take from the sippy cup, but I didn't believe that Decker could heal all of us, and a fountain is only half your health over a course of 10 seconds. I need to be in there now. So I just went back, got all my health, immediately started running back so that we can hopefully recontest this shrine. Now I have amazing range. Here Orpheus steps a little too close to the wall, and I give a lot of damage to her. And yeah. This is what you really want to be doing. You're applying your poison. You're applying your poison, and they're all clumped up, so it's very easy to get multiple stacks on them. Johanna's on 37 out of 40. She's trying, and she dies. And we steal it. That was very nice. Ching, we're going to push with it. Hopefully we can take out this keep. Alright, let's see. Next plan at level 16 is the penultimate upgrade. It's going to be Unfair Advantage, so that all stun, slows, etc. will amplify the damage of poison. Very important with all the slowing we got, especially reliable slowing. Here I'm just giving the puncher a little bit of support. Lunara is one of the best heroes in applying like long-range poison and support for your puncher. She's just very threatening, and people will get scared of you and they back off from damaging the Punisher. So this is something I love doing as Lunara. And look at that. Look at that damage. It's nothing phenomenal, but they're just permanently poisoned. They literally cannot stop getting poisoned, and they're just suffering a lot of damage from it. Here, Joanna goes for a dive. I slow her and back off. Simple job. Yeah, look at that. Every time Thrall, Arthas just slows him, he's just suffering 100 extra damage. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Here I'm out of mana, so the situation is a little bit more perilous than expected, but we did a really good push. We got to keep. We should be out of here, really. And then ideally, we want to take all of what they have, their waves, their camps. Yeah, look at that. You just throw out a vine, you press W, the whole thing dies. And you get all the XP too, because it tends to last hit them. It does that much damage. Lots of vision here. Let's see, where did I put that Westbit? Okay, it's dead. Game plan is hopefully... Okay, all the camps are gone, so now it's just us posturing a bit. Bruiser camps are the next likely contention point. The shrine is not going to come up anytime soon, so I should clear this up and get healing and be with the rest of my team. Very nice. Here it looks like they're about to pick a bone to fight, and it could go either way. It's currently 5v4 and they got 16. This is a big mistake, technically. So I'm coming in a little bit late. We're going to watch what I do here. Okay, notice how I've got poison on Johanna, I got poison on Asmodan, and I got poison on Orphea. Genji is next. I see him through the Fog of War here because he's been dealing some damage. And Lunara loves flanking. Infernal Shrines is basically the perfect map for doing lots of flanking angles. I'm going to come from the side here. I'm avoiding all the big AoE. I'm avoiding Johanna's area of effect. So I'm just coming from the side and applying a lot of pressure here. And since multiple people were poisoned, I press W. I get the CDR reduction. So it's at 6 seconds. Orphea is poised to die if she doesn't get healing immediately. Down she goes. Actually, that was Johanna. My bad. A little bit more skirmishing occurs here. We didn't get it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Genji escapes my wrath. The two people dead. I don't have a lot of mana left, but I can do a bit of pressure with these siege camps in the middle. Asmodan decides not to. As soon as anybody steps up, you just lash them with a Vine, Q, and then when you get one stack of poison on, it's easy applying the rest. Once again, Orphea and Genji are poisoned. I press W. And look at that. Genji was about to get away, and his poison was barely expiring, but my W came right off cooldown, thanks to the reduction, and then I poisoned him again, he died. That would not have been possible without my level 30 talent. Yeah, I'm really low on health, this is probably... Oh yeah, that's not a good fight. We're out of here. Got a little bit greedy for her to keep. However, it's now in a low enough position that I can go for it. I'm sending out the Wisp on a more unseen trajectory. I'm providing a little bit of support to my team. And then I feel like, yeah, I see 3 people top lane. I don't know where Genji is, which is the big problem, but I'm going to go straight mid, take out this keep. If I die, so be it. Here I see Asmodan, but he's not going to stop me. In fact, I'm dealing a lot of damage to him. I lash it twice, and it should take it down. There we go. So now the team is currently fighting over Shrine, a clear path to go up there and join them. Coming from the side here. A little bit of poisoning. Absalom flanks me, that's okay. Not a big threat. Apply poison to as many people as you can. Look at that big slow. Oh my god. Absolutely disgusting. Yet another slow comes out. White Mane's out of mana. There's nothing she can do. Johanna's next on the list. And look at that. Poison, weakened, and then executed. Poison works really good in both clustered team fights where teams just get together and they tend to get hit by a lot of Noxious Blossoms and Splinter Spears, your Vines as well. And then as soon as it's like unfurls itself, it becomes more chaotic, people go away. The poison becomes strong again because they can't escape it, and your team can just slowly collapse upon them. Cha-ching. A very easy cleanup here. Our first destination is to take out their final keep, and this is going to make things a lot trickier. And notice we were level 20 when we got that fight. All the macro I did and Zagara did. Zagara did most of the macro of this game. However, I came into support whenever I can, and I picked up like minions here and there. It was a really quick job, but I did it. And because of that, it accumulated to the point that we hit level 20 on that crucial fight. We got the Punisher, and now we're threatening their keep because of it. It's you do this, this happens, that happens. Lunara is just really good at macro. You should take advantage of it whenever possible. And of course, lastly, I should also talk about my level 20 talent, Intensifying Toxin. Since you have so many poison applicators, Splinter Spear, Vines, or Spores, it's so easy just stacking it. So you are almost overstacking it per se. Intensifying Toxin, very easy to keep multiple enemies at 3 stacks for a long period of time. You just deal a lot more damage from it. This enemy team we're fighting, we don't even need any mobility or defense. I feel safe enough as is, so more damage it is. Can't go wrong with more damage, so to say. Perfect. I'm just walking up, going back, applying what poison I can, making White Mane really sweat her mana. Was forced to use her ultimate, and now she doesn't have one for the upcoming fight. Genji actually snipes Phoenix there, which is kind of unfortunate. Out of mana, slowed, out of time. Beautiful. Good fight. Genji comes back here. This is a small problem. And then we get incinerated by a surprise Zanshin. Unfortunately, he got clobber stomped by the Punisher before he got to the fountain. Punisher is basically the 6th hero on this map. I fucking love this thing. And yeah. 4 people dead, and Zagara has very good siege damage. It's very unlikely that Johanna can stop her, especially with Deckard support. And she also went for percentage HP damage. Yeah, she's just melting. Not much she can do. So yeah, that is basically the end of the game. Perfect. So, what was special about this game? We went poison build even against a Genji. Here, I evaluated team composition. I decided that Y main was a big threat, and that the rest of the enemy team didn't have many ways in order to stop me. So I just went for more damage. It's a very greedy playstyle. It's definitely Lunara's strongest theoretical build. It is what she is built for, and you're basically overclocking her to 11. You don't always have the luxury of picking up this build because of the fact that you might need burst damage for the enemy composition. Maybe you need a physical or magic, more magic damage. A lot of times you have CC to fight or big magic damage, so you need a spell shield, etc. Lots of things can go wrong, but when you have a clear pathway that you feel safe enough, your team is a solid brick, and the enemy team is very vulnerable to it, Lunara can really punish it hard. Her other builds are good, but this is definitely what she was made for. Poison build is fun in its own category, but I pick it the rarest, funnily enough. And the map also had a lot to do with it. It really encourages grouping up to fight for the shrine. You're killing all the demons, and then lastly, you deal good damage to the Punisher. It's probably the weakest build against the Punisher, to be honest, but hopefully you do well enough on the shrine part that you don't have to worry about it, and you're relying more upon your team. Zagara and Phoenix do plenty of damage to the Punisher. I don't have to take care of that responsibility. And yeah, that is all I have to say. That is Lunara's Poison Build Guide. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.